go. We see the Earth. You got it.
Hey, welcome to Hangar 1 Speedway here, and we are going back to the scratch building, how would you say, mode. I've been really doing a lot of cars downstairs on Area 51 with, the Carrera track, and it's time to come back to scratch building. And this is the part that's extremely rewarding about scratch building. So this car is a mold that Harry gave me when I went down to see him at the showdown for Labor Day. And that's where I got really, how would you say, really got excited about building a wood track. It was to the point that I was really thinking of tearing down Area 51 Raceway and replacing it with a wood track at the old home I was at. But my wife and Harry themselves really advised not to do it, and I'm glad I didn't. And then we ended up moving here, and there was an extra room, let's say 2 extra rooms, so one for Area 51 to exist still, being moved, and then also this track right here, which is Hangar 1 Speedway. And I got Hangar 1, the name from Moffett Field, and Hangar 1 is the large, dirigible, one of the world's largest, how would you say, blimp hangars, and there's one in Akron, Ohio, too. But this one in Moffett Field, I used to live across from, and that's where I got the name Hangar 1. But going back to scratch building, not to go off the subject, this is the rewarding part about scratch building. So again, this car was the Revell mold, I believe, monogram Fairlane molds, similar to I think the Mario Andretti car, but I could be wrong. This could be a little bit different, but this is awesome. So this is a resin casting, and what I've done was I've used some Createx paint, and this is a candy red paint. So the candy red is basically a gold color, like a gold metal flake, and then a candy red over it, and that's what gives it that color right there. And I couldn't remember why I had painted this car, because this car has been 8 months in the making. Before I moved, I did the chassis, and then I, believe it or not, set it aside, and I already had painted the body, and everything got transferred to the new house, and it was kind of like, boxed up, and then, pulled out and left on the shelf. And then recently I looked at the car, and after doing a lot of stuff downstairs at Area 51, realized, I better get on this car, because we do have the showdown coming out in July. And this is not really a showdown car, because it's an illegal car, because it has the large Predator 20,500 RPM motor. And these things really scoot. And I think later on, Harry will be moving to that motor. Currently, right now, we're using the Piranha motor, which is a lot smaller motor. But this long can motor on these 132nd cars are a blast to drive, and they really exhibit a lot of power, and they're wonderful. They do have a detuned version, which I don't know if they're making them still, but there's a 17,500 if you want to go a little bit lower than that, or if you want to stick with the Predator motor and enter your car in a showdown. And, I could do that with this also, just switch the motor out. But I'm going to leave it the way it is, because it's more like an exhibit car. And I sent Harry another one too. It was the blue Ford, and that's over there right now. And finally got around to this. Like I said, decals were lying around that I had that were extra. And then these are ultra decals from Innovate Hobby, which are like stickers, and they're really durable. Once you get them coated and painted, it holds on there real well. And right now I'm currently waiting for a driver figure for this interior, but I did put a roll bar in there, and it is actually 3/32 brass. And I glued it to the roof of the car. I tried to make a pillar to come down, but it didn't work out, so I'm going to leave it out because it's more of a hassle. But again, I'm experimenting with just doing roll bars, and this really made the car, it made it a little bit heavier, but I don't think it really adversely affected handling. I just drove it around for the first time to check it out. And again, this is, a simple chassis that anybody can make. These tongues are available. This is a piano wire, and then regular 8152 channel, and then some flat brass, and then the motor bracket. This is a real simple chassis to build. And we're going to be talking about scratch building on Sunday coming up at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's basically called Scratch Build Chat. And we want you guys to join us. There'll be Shotgun Dave, Harry, and myself, and we'll talk about all about scratch building and get into what we need to really want to get everybody to try and give it a shot.
You can do
and
it!
I know I've been wanting to make also a digital scratch build car, and I haven't gotten around to that. I want to do that. But for now, for the wood track, this is really a fun car to drive. I've driven it in a couple laps already, and it really moves. And being that it's a little bit weight on the top hasn't affected the handling. Now this is a longer wheelbase car and a little bit, longer and more low, how would you say, to the track. Now a top heavy car, if you had like a hot rod, I don't think it'd work out too well because it may tip over too much. But this is pretty good so far. It's got a nice amount of body float on it. I use these Slot Car Corner body float screws, and just basically use the plastic strut to make mounts. And I have a tray interior for this. Like I said, again, I just need the driver figure, and once I get that and paint it, I'll put it in here. But let's show you what I mean about how rewarding it is. Let us just put this on the track. I got it set at 11 volts, a little bit higher than usual. Usually I run at 10. We'll run at 11 to see how it cruises, get it more speed, see if it does anything weird. So let's take it for a spin. Okay, here we are. We're getting ready to give it a little spin. We're at 11 volts. We are in the red lane, and we're going to give it a cruise. And I haven't really cleaned the tires. We'll just maybe clean them if it starts acting weird, get a little bit, squirrely. So here we go. So far, not too bad. This is the second run I've ever made on this car. I initially just put it on the first time before camera just to see if everything was, right. And the first time I did put it on, I didn't tighten the crown gear, and it started
Stop whining.
So that's why you kind of just do a little trial run. But here's the second run of it, and starting a little grip there. This little sideways action there. Really doesn't affect it too much with the extra brass on the top. Maybe a little bit heavier, but it is 3/32 brass that I made the roll bar out of. But when it's going around the track, nobody's going to really see that, but you can see it through the windows. So it just kind of gives it a little visual effect. You can use Q-tips. Q-tips are a little bit kind of a pain in the butt sometimes, but I'm still experimenting with roll bars, and I'm going to be using aluminum rods on the green car that I just put together, and you can see pictures of it. Whoa! Popped out of the guide there. What I'll do is I'll clean the tires a little, and as it's always said, a clean tire is a happy tire. So we'll get our station here, our sponge. Let's clean the tires up, because I haven't really cleaned these tires since I've started, moving this car around. And there's some clean tires, and probably need to floor shine the front tires, of course, which I haven't done. And here we go. A lot better. Clean tires, happy tire. Nice and smooth running car, 3/32 axles. This is a 9-pinion tooth with a 27 crown gear. So it's a slot at 27 crown gear. And the Predator 20,500 RPM motor. And we have some CB Design steely wheels on it. It's that classic look, and some Paul Gauge tires. And the Paul Gauge tires are the 22/116, 22/166 FF tires. So these are the firm ones. And they're trued, obviously, and what a fun running car, and it looks sharp. That candy apple red is really nice. And this is what it's all about, scratch building. This is why I kind of want to do the slot car track, all three of us, to really get people to give this a shot.
You can
and
do
you
it!
could run this on a Carrera track if you have an analog switcher, or if you'd want, put a digital chip in it and make it a digital car, which is possible. Which I will do later on, just haven't got to it yet. I promise to do that, because I do want to do a digital chip, a brass chassis slot car. But for now, on the wood here, this is a lot of fun. Whoa, a lot of fun. Whip in action there. I am slowly starting to get my track. Finally, the tire marks that it, starting to get, as you can see, is starting to darken. And that's been taking some time. I've been driving cars on this on and off try and get that tire wear broken in, and it's getting there. Just taking some time. You just got to run cars, but this car is really fun to drive. Wow, what a fun runner, man. And there you have it. Just this is really what it's all about. It's just the, you know, the pleasure of just building your own car and chassis, and, you know, making the modeling part of it, and all this is attainable by anyone. The paint I use, again, is Createx paint, and this is airbrushed. It's not very difficult to airbrush. The primer I used was the Rust-Oleum Tomb 1 sandable primer before I actually, you know, painted this car, the color, you know, the primer and then the base color. But all this takes time, you know, to do. Obviously I took a while on it. Now I'm going to detail the wheels more, and I'm going to put the old toothpick trick with just the white letters, or if you could use a decal you can, which I have before, but I'm going to do the white toothpick trick to keep it simple. And the white toothpick trick is simply this right here, just like on this Carrera car, because when it's going down the track, it's going to look like it has you know, raised letters. Nobody's going to notice. You know, this, when it's going down the track, it'll look cool. And that's what I'm going to do to this one. But just wanted to share this with everyone. It's just a video about really more of my passion, you know, is I love the factory plastic cars, and I love Area 51, but the scratch building part and this track right here is what I really love a lot. And this is the kind of like, you know, not kind of, but it's like the artwork and the you know, the pride you have when you make your own car. And I love building these cars. They're a lot of fun. 132nd, 125th, 124th, whatever kits are available. You know, it's just something that's so nice that you could make a brass chassis and just, you know, go about and run the car on the track. So just wanted to share that. That's it from Area 51 Raceway. So not a very long video. It's just about scratch building. As always, you take care and have fun racing.